5-bit says he hurts himself. You're on. Oh, right. What is he even doing?
For your information, I'm trying to hook up my Flim Flam Brothers Super Easy Rift Connector 9000, or Circ 9K for short. It is a very intricate process.
Rift?
The Rift is a magical MacGuffin created by Voice of Reason and ANY. It is a hole in the fourth wall of all pony-related channels, and it accounts for all collabs and crossovers. Because my channel was created after the Rift was created, it either can't or hasn't affected my channel yet. So I got this device from those charlatan brothers, Flim and Flam, because I saw no other way to connect to the Rift. They assure me it works properly.
Just turn it on.
Just gotta hook this to the flux capacitor, connect that to that, this to that, reverse the polarity of the neutron flow, and here we go. Allons-y! Well, this can't be good.
Ow. Okay, that hurt.
Did that thing just Rule 63 comic?
Don't foreshadow future events.
What happened? Where am I? Who are you?
Hello there, I'm Comic Sans. The bad OC, he's Jet Fever, and the disembodied text is my brother Text Typer. This is my YouTube channel and apartment in Ponyville. As to how you got here, I'm not entirely sure, but the Circ 9K, the machine behind you, may be to blame.
I'm Countess Rose. Is there any way you can get me back to my channel?
Yeah, not anytime soon, I'm afraid. It needs substantial repairs. I'll have Jet do it.
Do I look like goddamn Mr. Fix-It to you?
Well, I need to do my weekly MLP comic review.
Fine, but you owe me.
What comic are you reviewing?
I was planning on reviewing Zen and the Art of Gazebo Repair, Part 1. Want to review it with me to pass the time while we wait for Jet to fix the Circ?
Why not? I just finished reading that one anyway. Do we need to do a spoiler warning or something? Warning! There be spoilers ahead!
So this comic welcomes back the best creative teams for the comics thus far. Katie Cook on story and Andy Price on art. It is a welcomed return after the abysmal previous arc. Anyways, you already know my thoughts on Andy's art. It is amazing! Countess Rose, what do you think?
I really enjoy Mr. Price's work as well. His use of hatching and cross-hatching in his shadows gives his work a sketch look that I thoroughly enjoy.
So the comic begins with Granny Smith asking Big Mac to fix a squeaky board in the gazebo. Simple enough, right?
I'm just happy we're getting some development with Big Mac. We haven't seen all that much of him, and we haven't actually heard him speak complete sentences since apple bucking season back in season 1.
Wait, didn't he speak in Hearts and Hooves Day?
We are all trying to forget that.
As it turns out, the entirety of Sweet Apple Acres is completely devoid of nails. Maybe because they keep having to re-raise that barn. And so, Big Mac must head into Ponyville to pick up some more nails.
Oh, look at there. Looks like it's yet another festival in Ponyville. What's the count up to now?
It's the Summer Wrap-Up Festival in Hoedown! This festival canonizes that each season in Equestria has some sort of cleanup. If you live in Ponyville and thus you do things the Earth Pony way. If I had to place this on the equestrian calendar, it would probably fall a few months prior to the running of the leaves. Getting back on track, unfortunately, the hardware store is on the other side of the festival.
If that's not bad enough, here comes our favorite fillies. Seriously, doesn't any pony understand the importance of supervising foals?
Apparently not. I mean, if they were, then the events of the first comic book arc would not have happened. Anyways, they drag Big Mac into the craft tent to show him their extremely dangerous art project. A pyrotechnics display. Also, Sweetie Belle really needs to have her ears checked because she mistakes pyrotechnics as pirates. And so, she sets off the fireworks.
It's not all that far off, but when you make your friend's brother break the fourth wall, we have a problem.
There is also some foreshadowing in regards to where the fireball actually went, but we'll get to that later. Anyways, enter Mr. and Mrs. Cake, trying to corral their foals, Pound and Pumpkin. The moment they see Big Mac, they ask him to full sit for them while they deliver a cake. Big Mac could have easily just said he was busy, but thankfully the writer stuck to his yup, nope shtick, and thus hilarity ensues.
Poor Big Mac, but never fear, for the great and powerful Trixie is here with her historically accurate puppet show.
After returning the foals to their parents, there is a brief instance where the CMC almost run over Big Mac, but more on that subplot later.
We are then treated to Big Mac's quest to get across the fairgrounds, with some minor distractions, including a trip to the science pit, complete with time travel adventure.
Where's that comic arc? I want to see that story unfold. Get on it, IDW. Sorry, I'm a huge fan of time travel.
It's fine, but moving on. After checking the crafts tin at the end of his journey, he has yet to find any nails.
Remember a few moments ago when I mentioned the CMC subplot?
Yeah?
Well, that comes around again with Sweetie Belle mistaking cutie marks for fruity barks. Seriously, that filly needs her ears checked.
Another honest mistake. I'm sure it won't happen again.
This time, the ball of flaming fireworks knocks Fleetfoot out of the sky. Why are the Wonderbolts even at the Summer Wrap-Up Festival? Wouldn't they be in Cloudsdale training or something?
Maybe they were hired to perform.
Well, it looks like they'll be one Pegaside down. At least Big Mac was there to catch her, right? Ship it like FedEx.
Moving along. Fleetfoot is taken to have her concussion looked at. Shortly after, we run into Diamond Tiara and Silver Spoon. After a rather skilled escape by Big Mac, we run into Book Biceps.
Yeah! After winning the Nope off, he then witnesses the CMC with yet more fireworks. Where do they keep on getting them from? Then enter Her Majesty, Princess Luna. R.I.P. headphone users. So Luna forces Big Mac into a series of competitions, and they totally own. Though they kind of have an unfair advantage with Luna being an alicorn, but apparently that's not necessarily against the rules. Also note that Luna's t-shirt changes in every single panel.
Pony Batman is now canon.
So Big Mac makes yet another skillful escape, he's getting rather good at that, and runs into Zecora,
who by far has been most helpful to Big Mac in his quest for the elusive nail. Sadly, his hunt is far from over thanks to the CMC's firework fail.
Wait, hold on, go back a page. Poison jokes tomfoolery! Observer pony in the background! There is more than one of everything!
Rest in peace, headphone users. Again.
My cabbages! To be continued. Twice, because of the unnecessary inclusion of Exposition Spike and Angel Bunny.
Personally, I have found this arc enjoyable thus far. I have grown to love this slice of life stories, and any character development for every pony's favorite red stallion is a major plus. Overall, I give this 6.5 head over hooves Fleetfoots out of 10.
I completely agree with that assessment. I also give this comic 6.5 thought bubbles of nails out of 10. It was very well paced with lots of memorable character interactions. Let's just say I wasn't bored for a single moment while reading this comic. I also really enjoyed how all of these subplots were expertly woven together with the main storyline. It didn't feel at all jarring when they would shift in and out of focus. I'm not even too bothered that it's 2 parts. So far, it's quite interesting. Nothing felt like filler. Can't wait to see what happens next. The only thing I truly didn't like about this comic was the inclusion of Exposition Spike and Angel Bunny. But that was the last page of the comic, and it was probably only there because they had an extra page to fill. Speaking of the true end of this comic, that was some very well executed foreshadowing about where the first firework ball would end up. Well, that is our 2 bits on this comic.
Tell us your 2 bits in the comments below.
Or suggest a possible future spoiler alert. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Also be sure to head over to Countess Rose's channel, link in the description. As always, I'm Comic Sans.
I'm Countess Rose.
And I'll see you next week, where I will be reviewing Zen and the Art of Gazebo Repair, Part 2.
Well, that was fun, but I would like to be returning to my channel now.
Yes, let's go check on Jet's progress.
I'm a fire in my laser!
Well, I guess you'll be sticking around for the next review after all.